Good morning. This is the second part of Indycam number 7. I had 3 parts that were each 17 minutes long, and so this is the middle part. So I've edited it out so that you can just see which birds have chosen to feed on suet today. There's a chickadee. That one doesn't have anything on its head. I don't know if there's still the one with the lint on its head. We'll see. Oh, and there's a tufted titmouse. It really likes the peanut butter cornmeal mix. Look how bright and shiny its feathers are, too. And occasionally you can hear one tweet in the background. I have isolated the sounds of most of these birds, tried to enhance them, and eventually want to put together a bird call, bird picture video. But that takes time too, and editing video is what I'm interested in right now. And I've noticed that there are at least 3 different tufted titmice that come and feed in my big backyard. Yesterday was a big day. Jack swallowed one of my embroidery needles with about 6 inches of thread on it. And I knew it was true, and so we had to take him to the emergency room. And sure enough, the x-ray showed a needle in his stomach. So we discussed all the options, and opted for a minor surgery. The doctor said it wasn't going to be much more than a neuter or a spay, but depending upon how much food was in his belly and stuff, it might require a little searching. So that all went well, except there was trauma and drama throughout the day yesterday. So there's napping going on today. Well deserved, I'd say. And there's the chickadee and the titmouse feeding together. They don't seem to mind each other's presence. And they're both small birds. The chickadee is a diminutive little bird with a tiny beak, good for seeds. Well, that one doesn't look like the same one. I guess one thing I could do outside while working on my flower beds and the nature trail is to try and keep a count of how many I have around, and maybe even look for nests in the woods. I put out some apple the other day, cut them in half, and just impaled them on some stumps, little stick stumps, and within an hour there were peck marks in them. I did the slice an orange in half trick that I learned at Kathy and Jim's house, and impaled them on an old rake, and the birds truly appreciated that, although I never did see an oriole show up. I guess the most exciting bird rescue last year was the great crested flycatcher. And I'd never seen one before. And I wondered if, having brought my Niger seed feeder too close to the house, might have brought that bird up and into the window, unfortunately. But we rescued it. It survived after about 30 minutes. I think I posted a video about that. It would have been around last June. And I kind of like this point of view. I'm not sure which point of view I like the best. This one would be interesting if the cat was prowling underneath. Although we did get a video of the cat nearly catching a bird on the feeder. Be a good one to put together. Because Richard made this funny noise that sounded like a bird call on his way in. And he was very patient and knew what he was looking for. But I haven't edited that one. Oh, now there's a first. Looks like a little house finch, a male. They're bright red. I think the female shows up in a minute. She's much duller. But it looked like they were chasing them off. Purple finches are also around here, but not as common as house finches. There's a female. They have a sweet call. And there's a downy woodpecker feeding off the corner. So that's an interesting pair feeding together. Cute little peckerwood, or Mr. Woody, some of my friends call him. I wonder what point of view I should try next. I rather like the one where I can see the birds flying in and capture frames of them in full feather fluff. But I also enjoy seeing which ones like feeding together and what position they take. And I would have never thought that the tufted titmouse was the most frequent visitor.